Welcome back to the channel. Today we need to slow things down and talk seriously about Zcash because the hype that once surrounded this project is clearly fading, and the price is starting to reflect that. Over the past few weeks, Zcash has been losing attention, losing momentum, and slowly coming back down. And while some people may see this as a buying opportunity, we need to ask a much more important question. Is this real long-term adoption, or was this just another attention-driven rally? At its recent peak, Zcash reached roughly $10 billion in market capitalization. That sounds impressive, and technically, there's still more than a 100x required to flip Bitcoin. But market cap alone doesn't tell the full story. Just 1.5 months ago, attention on Zcash was massive. A video published 42 days ago significantly outperformed the channel average. But as time passed, that outperformance turned into underperformance. Today, a Zcash video gets fewer views than the channel average, and sometimes even less attention than a random altcoin. That alone tells us something important about market psychology. Now let's zoom out and look at the long-term Zcash price chart. If we connect the major bottoms from 2017, 2020, and 2024, we start to notice something interesting. The tops line up in almost perfect parallels. Even the most recent peak aligns closely with the 2016 highs. These rallies weren't purely hype-driven. During each major price expansion, on-chain activity increased as well. And during the most recent rally, we saw a massive spike in Zcash transactions. But here's the problem. That activity did not sustain itself. When we compare Zcash to Ethereum, especially when Ethereum was roughly the same size, the difference is stark. Ethereum showed relatively consistent transaction growth. Zcash, by comparison, remains barely visible. So we have to ask, is Zcash experiencing genuine long-term adoption? Or is this simply attention flowing in and out, similar to what we see with meme coins? Meme coins don't have utility, but their price is driven by attention. Fatcoin peaked near $2 billion, Bonk around $4 billion, Trump close to $9 billion. Zcash peaked around $10 billion, and historically, attention-driven assets tend to deflate hard. We've already seen Zcash fall 90% multiple times, from $2 billion to $200 million, from $3.7 billion to $380 million. So the question becomes, are we heading back toward $1 billion market cap again? To answer that, we need to look beyond price and into market structure. The recent rally wasn't just crypto moving up together. This rally was idiosyncratic to Zcash, and that matters. At first, funding rates were positive. Traders were heavily long, but after the October flash crash, the situation flipped. From that point on, shorts dominated the market, and the rally that followed was largely a short squeeze. Market makers bought Zcash to liquidate short positions. Once funding normalized and traders were wiped out, selling pressure returned, and price began to fall again. Open interest tells the same story. In May 2021, Zcash open interest was around $66 million. At the peak, it exceeded $1 billion. A nearly 20x increase, but price only did about a 2.5x. That tells us one thing very clearly. This rally was driven by leverage, not organic demand, and now trading volume is falling. Open interest is likely to follow. Historically, when that happens, price follows as well. On Binance Smart Chain, ZEC holders nearly doubled during the rally. But when we apply a minimum threshold, about $1,000 worth of ZEC, growth drops to just 50%. Increase that threshold to $10,000, and we don't even see a new all-time high. That means most buyers were small retail investors, not large capital. And as attention fades, those buyers are already disappearing. I think it's dangerous to hold a large Zcash position right now. Without renewed usage, rising transactions, and sustained demand, Zcash risks repeating its historical pattern. Sharp rallies followed by deep drawdowns of 60%, 70%, or even 90%. Nobody can predict the future with certainty, but probabilities matter. And based on price structure, leverage, volume, and adoption metrics, the probability right now does not like and favor aggressive upside.